It's all about veggies today. We're ready to go with the 30-day reset. We've looked at the guidelines, and I suggest, and Dr. McDougall suggests, for maximum weight loss, we're gonna do a 50-50 plate. Half of our plate is non-starchy vegetables and half of our plate is starches. And so today, it's all about those non-starchy veggies. But before I get into that, I just wanted to address the Starch Solution. So the Starch Solution, within it, on page 216, has the guidelines for maximum weight loss. And specifically, the guidelines for maximum weight loss is what I have followed. And so the traditional Starch Solution isn't about the 50-50 plate. Actually, in there, it's between 70 and 90% starches. And so for me, I just kept filling up more and more on those non-starchy vegetables, and it stuck more in with the maximum weight loss. So that's what we're getting into today. We need to find out how to plus up these non-starchies, right? They're so healthy for us, and especially if we have weight to lose, this can be the secret sauce, you guys. Giving up those overt fats and adding in non-starchy vegetables, the 50-50 plate. So when you're eating this way, there is nothing worse than getting home from a long day at work or from a long day out or whatever, looking in the fridge, and you have a pot of beans, you have potatoes you can microwave, but you have no non-starchy veggies ready. And that is what I am all about. I need to have these ready to go in my fridge. So today I'm gonna show several different ways to prepare these non-starchy vegetables so we can have them ready to go in the fridge at all times. I get these big bags of kale already pre-cut and washed. And you guys, even though a lot of people say you can't eat the thick stems, you can. If you cook these long enough, the stems even get soft and they taste so good. So you can eat the whole kale, which is awesome. So whoops. I got overexcited. So for the kale, I use some veggie broth. I'll pour that in the bottom of the pot. And I usually have this on the stove. I'm just being lazy. I don't feel like moving everything over to the stove just yet. And then I add a whole onion to the bottom. And you can cook the onion a little bit first if you want, but it's not necessary. I have literally forgotten the onion and then just put it in there. And if you haven't made kale like this, you guys, you've got to try it. I am a nervous cook and I don't like to waste food. So this was a hard one for me. I'm like, what if I don't like it? I even add collards to this, and I have a video on it. So I'll link it in the description box down below. Make this for yourself. It's a new way to eat veggies, and it is so good, you guys. And it really pluses up those other veggies. Like if you have some of the fancier veggies like asparagus, or for me, the zucchini, I put this in the bottom of my bowl and then add my other veggies on top. It's so good. So we have the onions, the veggie broth, and then I just pour in almost, if I can crush it down and get it all in there, I'll just get the whole bag in there. And then I cover it with a lid and I cook it on high till it gets to a boil, and then I lower the heat and let it simmer and cook. Next, I have my baking sheet, parchment lined. I call it baking, but I know y'all call it roasting. So we're baking / roasting our veggies. This will be for the zucchini, the summer squash, the eggplant. If it's still good, this one I haven't used and it's turning a little funky, so we'll see. Mushrooms and onion. So I'm gonna chop those up, put them on the pan and season them, and then those will go in the oven next while the kale's cooking. Okay, you guys, this kale is boiling away. Since this is a smaller batch, I usually do 2 big bags, but this is all I had in the fridge today. So, and I wanted to get it cooked for you all so you could see how I can get all these non-starchy veggies together. So since this is a smaller batch, I'm just gonna do a ½ tablespoon. I use the low sodium soy sauce. You can use anything. If you use coconut aminos, tamari, whatever, just, so this is for the 1 bag, right? ½ tablespoon. And then I'm gonna use a full tablespoon of the apple cider vinegar. The vinegar really cuts the bitter taste. And I just like having that little zing So I'll do a tablespoon of that. Sometimes I even add more, but we'll see. Like I said, this is a different ratio for me. And then on top, I just sprinkle garlic powder and onion powder. And I get a good amount of that because why not? All right. And then I just mix that up and it's going pretty good, you guys. So I'm just gonna put it down to simmer, let it do its thing with the lid on, and everything will get nice and soft. I mean, this just boils down to a little bit. I can probably eat this all in one sitting. Now that I have the kale taken care of and the oven's preheated, I preheated it to 400 today. I usually do these zucchini on 375. I'm gonna try 400 to see if that'll get it a little bit more tender quicker. We'll check it out. And so I'll spice these up. I wanted to show you guys, I keep the onion hunks, I slice them pretty big. They're not tiny little pieces because red onion and sweet yellow onions taste so good once they're cooked up, so you don't need to do them tiny. And then I stopped adding veggie broth to my zucchini mixture, especially when I add mushrooms, because the mushrooms add that wet ingredient and zucchini's so full of water anyway, so we don't really need to add anything to this mixture so that the seasoning will stick. So I use my tried and true garlic powder and I change it up, you guys. Find the spices and the seasonings you like and find the way that you like to have your veggies cooked. I'm gonna use some Italian seasoning today. The umami blend, I just love this, you guys. My favorite seasoning besides the garlic salt. Just sprinkle that around. It has a little zing too sometimes if you get the red pepper flakes. Although sometimes I think I should add red pepper flakes anyway. And then this other garlic salt I've been loving. I don't want it too salty, so I'll just use a little bit of this. And often this garlic salt I'll just put on top of my veggies once I cook them. So these I'll just move around a little bit to get the spices kind of everywhere to the bottom pieces. And I love baking vegetables, you guys. Once you find your way to cook non-starchy veggies that you really love, like, it's a game changer. It makes it so I can't get enough of these when I cook and prepare them the way that tastes good to me. That's why I'm showing you these different ways, because when you find the way that tastes good to you, you will be eating these non-starchies by the pound full, by the bucket full. I'm gonna put these in the oven, 400 degrees. I'll do 18 minutes to check it out. Oh my gosh, you guys, I completely forgot the eggplant. I put the veggies in, I put the zucchini in the oven, and then I looked at the counter and it's like, oh my gosh, the eggplant. And even though that eggplant looked like it was going a little bad on the outside, once I cut it, it's good. I just cut off the little bad piece. So I cut them in pretty big chunks. The eggplant cooks a little bit quicker than zucchini and they get really soft. I love them though. I'll just stick these in and kind of move them around and then I'll stick it back in the oven. This pan is filled with veggies, so it'll probably take a little longer than the 20 minutes, 18 to 20 minutes. Next, we're gonna steam some green beans. I love steaming frozen green beans, you guys. Who would have known? I used to love the fresh. I found these green beans at Costco. They're frozen, organic, and they are so good steamed. So steaming, I used to be so scared of. My sister, who's the big chef cook in the family, she admitted she was even shy of steaming. So I figured I better let my starchy sisters know about what a treat steaming is once you figure it out. I have this steamer pot. I was even afraid of my steamer pot, you guys. I had this for years before I even used it. I'll put a link in the description box. I'll find one on Amazon. I mean, I've had this thing for, I don't know, probably 8-10 years at least. So I don't know if they have this one anymore, but I'll find one and put it in the link below so you all can get a steamer pot if you so choose. Otherwise, the quick and easy way to steam, you just put some water in the bottom of like a big pot. You add your veggies, put the lid on it, and at a low simmer, you just let it steam. In this steamer pot, we have a steamer basket. this is where our veggies go. And then the bottom of the pot, we just fill up with water. Once we fill the bottom with water, I put the lid on just because it'll make it boil faster. We put it on the stovetop to get this water boiling. And then to our steamer basket, we add the veggies we're steaming. You can steam cabbage in here, cauliflower, broccoli. I haven't done zucchini. You can do zucchini though. Frozen veggies, the Normandy mix of frozen veggies. I mean, anything, you guys, can be steamed. And I find as my palate cleansed, I really enjoyed the taste of steamed vegetables because you really get the flavor of the vegetable. So what I do with this, and a lot of times I'll mix it. So I'll put cabbage on the bottom and then my green beans on top, just so I have different varieties of vegetables. I'm out of cabbage today, darn it. I'll do a whole nother video on cabbage. I'll do cabbage 3 ways. You just pour however much you want in there. I'm gonna use the whole rest of this bag, so I have some left over. I checked the kale, added a little bit more veggie broth to that, you guys, because the veggie broth was getting low, and the kale wasn't as tender as I like it, so I'm gonna cook that for a little bit longer. While I'm waiting for the water to be boiling for the steaming of the green beans, I'm going to get started on my cauliflower. So the cauliflower I'm not gonna cook. This is what I mean by knowing what you like. I'm going to cut these up into small pieces and have them ready to roast in the oven. Because I don't like eating roasted cauliflower after it's been in the fridge as much as I like it fresh. When it's fresh, it tastes like butter to me. It's just so silky. So I'm picky. I want it fresh out of the oven. So I'll cut this up in the tiny pieces that I like, because the tinier the pieces, the more tender and cooked they get. And I'll put those in the fridge to have them ready to go when I want to eat cauliflower. I can just stick them in the oven and roast them for about 30 minutes. I do at 400 degrees. This is making me want cauliflower, you guys. Maybe I'll do a batch. The water is boiling, so I just take the green beans, stick them in there, put the lid on. I do turn it down a little bit, and I steam them for 8 to 10 minutes, and they're the perfect tenderness for me. Green beans are ready, you guys. The 8 minutes did it. So the great thing about the steamer basket is if you just need a little bit softer on the veggies, you can turn the stove top off and the steam will keep cooking the veggies. It goes the opposite direction, right? If you're done and you're like, they are perfect, then you need to take the steamer basket out and put them in a different dish so they don't continue to cook. The zucchini's all done, you guys. Perfect tenderness for me. I ended up doing 23 minutes at 400 degrees, and it's a huge pan. If I had less zucchini, I wouldn't need as much time. I'm gonna let those cool, the zucchini, the green beans. The kale's still cooking on the oven. Kale, you need to have time for. We can't over rush it. We want it to get soft. And I'm still cutting up these cauliflowers. And then one last thing I wanted to show you. So far, we've baked or roasted, we've steamed, and now we're going to saute. And this is a way to use spinach up and get your greens in. It's so easy and so good. So what I do is I just saute the spinach. I literally just put pepper in there and veggie broth. I make sure the stove is high. I have that veggie broth that I'm using for the kale. So while the kale's finished cooking, I'll whip up this spinach. And I put a good amount in there, little more than covering the bottom. And this shrinks down so much, you guys. So I just layer it in. I start here. I add some pepper to it. I'll keep the pepper nearby because I'm gonna probably add more in a little bit. And I just wait for it to shrink down. You can either leave the lid off or put it on and let a little air escape, and that's what I'm gonna do today. Spinach is just a little bit more delicate. So like our kale is really, it's rough, like we can, you know, just let it do its thing. Spinach, we have to kind of tend a little more, so it's a good thing it doesn't take that long. I move it around just to make sure the leaves are, you know, the leaves on the bottom are really getting done and the leaves on the top are not yet. And when it starts to cook like this, then I just add in more of more from the tub of spinach. And by moving it around, if we move the bottom over to the top, then it kind of cooks, gets those ones on the top warmed and cooking. When I first started eating this way, you guys, spinach was the one vegetable, the other vegetable besides zucchini that I loved, and I can eat it cold after it's cooked. So I would take a potato with me and some cooked spinach, and that would be like a meal on the go. And since I'm doing the whole tub, I'm gonna put a little bit more pepper in there. All right, you guys, spinach is all done. Look how much that shrunk down. So yummy. It's also good to have raw veggies prepped, not like the cauliflower like I did, prepped and ready to cook. That's awesome. But also just raw veggies prepped that you like to eat raw. And for me, lately, you guys, I have been loving zucchini, summer squash, cucumber, and slivered onions together raw. I eat it like a little salad and just add some balsamic if I want it, but honestly, I don't even need anything on it. I just eat it like that. It is so good. I am loving the zucchini and summer squash raw, and of course cucumber always. So I'm gonna cut those up. I cut them in little pieces and I put them in a bowl, kind of like a salad. So that's ready to go. And then if I'm cooking dinner, I have the bowl ready to go. I can just open it up and pick at it if I'm hungry. I always put a little paper towel in the bottom of the containers just to soak up any moisture that may be in there so the veggies stay fresher longer. All right, you guys, that took about an hour and 45 minutes and I still have some stuff to clean up, but I got all this done. And depending on how much you eat, I'm a big eater, right? Depending on how much you eat, this could last a good 3 to 5 days. So we got our zucchini mix, all of this goodness. I could even have more of this. It's so good. I could do 2 pans. I have my raw zucchini, squash, and cucumber mix, green beans, kale, and spinach. This spinach is so good. I'll probably drain this out. It has some water in there. I'll drain the water out. And then my cauliflower is ready to go so that when I do a sheet pan of cauliflower, I can just throw it in the oven. It's all finished. I love that. It's so fun to have these ready to go. Even if you don't cook this all at once, you can cut up all the veggies so they are just ready to go in the oven when you're ready to cook them or ready to saute or however you're doing it. And that's the great thing about the frozen. We can steam up a basket and be done with it. Take 7 to 10 minutes, you have your veggies. We don't have to make this overcomplicated, you guys, but we do have to ensure that we have enough non-starchy veggies so we're not caught in a pinch and then we're just stuck without our non-starchies. Make sure you have enough of the veggies you like so that you can eat them with your meal and make that perfect maximum weight loss 50-50 dish. And you know what? Your starchy sister couldn't resist. Look at all these veggies, you guys. That is what I'm having for lunch today. I could put a potato right in the middle of this and that would be a perfect meal, but I had my white bean chili, so I'm doing a potato with the white bean chili. And here is my perfect 50-50 meal. I can't wait to get into this. I am hungry. I've been doing my best not to pick at the veggies while I've been cooking. During our 30-day reset starting August 1st, make sure you have tons of these non-starchy veggies available, you guys. We are setting ourselves up for success, right? Doing everything we can to get the momentum going so that we're successful during these 30 days. If you need a little extra help for this 30-day reset, or you just want someone to bounce ideas off of, or you just need a little guidance on certain meals or meal plans, or you just feel like you don't know where to start, I'm doing all these videos, but I also offer one-on-one guidance or coaching, and I'll put the link in the description box below so you can click on that link and check it out. I tell all about it, my calendar's there, and you can book that online. So let's get this veggie party started, Starchy Sisters. If you stuck with me this long, be sure to put non-starchy veggies for the win in the comments down below. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you, sisters. I believe in you. I love you. And I will see you next time. Mwah. So much love.